Hello again, everyone. It's Vince Four from TradeWinds.com, and this is our update for July 18th, 2017. Let's take a quick look at today's markets. Well, the markets did close mostly higher. Netflix certainly helped the Nasdaq move to record highs, but Goldman Sachs was a drag on the Dow. The Dow finished lower by 55 points, but if I zoom in here, you can see it was much lower earlier in the session and made it all back. So not all bad news there. I'll show you the charts of Netflix and Goldman in just a moment. The S&P 500 managed to squeak out a gain of 1.5 points, while the Nasdaq was up 30, mostly due to Netflix, which, as I mentioned, we will get to in a moment. And the Russell was down 4 points at the close, but like the Dow, made up quite a bit of ground by the end of the session. Bonds today, TLT, bouncing nicely up a little over a point. Gold also bounced about 8 points or so. And crude here finished higher by about 40 cents or so. Now, let me show you those charts. So Goldman released earnings and actually beat, but they announced that their bond trading revenue was much lower than expected, and that caused a drop in the stock here. So this one is still pretty much in a range here, even though we had a nice strong down day today, down about 6 points or so. And this one still has the potential to move higher. We'll have to see in the days ahead if it can remain above these previous lows and move higher. And you know, what would be really nice would be to see it break this previous high from July 13th. And let me show you the Netflix chart and then explain why breaking above a previous high is so important. Here's the Netflix chart. Obviously, with those subscriber numbers, market loved it. It not only gapped, it continued to run and closing near its highs, closing at 183.60, and the high of the day was 185. So this one should continue higher, but another reason is that it broke above previous highs, and there are no other highs above. In other words, it's at record levels. There is no resistance up ahead. Whether you look at the daily, the weekly, or the monthly here, this one looks poised for more upside. Now, when you look at a stock, sure, as long as it's at all-time highs, there's no resistance up ahead, which is a great, a big benefit to you as a trader. So always keep an eye out for stocks that if and when they break a previous pivot high, okay, and especially when they retest it like that, they usually go on a nice run. Now, if breaking above a high means it's at an all-time high like it did now, even better. But you can just pull up any chart and you'll notice that throughout the chart, during a nice trend, one way or the other, breaking above a previous pivot or below a previous pivot low, if it's dropping consistently, usually you'll see a nice burst coming out of there. Okay, and when you don't, in other words, here we broke above and continue to run. Now here, if we mark these highs across, okay, when you don't get a clean break above, that is a clear indication of a channel or a consolidation pattern. Now for a channel, you do need at least 3 points, 2 on one side and 1 on the other. Let me draw this in for you like this. So as soon as you have at least 2 points on one side and 1 on the other, you know you're in a channel. And then it's a matter of waiting for a clean break. And a good sign of that is not only a strong break above there like we saw on this bar here on April 25th, but follow through. You want to see the high of that breakout bar being taken out. And that's generally what leads to that next run. Okay, so a trend like this is like a step ladder. You know, you take a step and you pop, you take another step and you pop. And that's the way you should look at this chart, and or any chart for that matter. But keep an eye, especially on those breaks above previous high when they are at record levels. That means no resistance up ahead and a clear path to higher prices. Okay. Now, on the earnings front, huge day. I mean, Goldman, as you know, came up before market open. So did Bank of America. And, you know, they beat, but, you know, I didn't hear the conference call. There was some concern there. They were lower earlier in the session, managed to make most of it back, but still ended slightly lower, down 12 cents, not a big deal. Also, though, today, Johnson & Johnson reported, and that got a huge boost. Beautiful beat there. That was great. And now tonight, after market close, we got United, UAL, coming out, and they did beat. They came in at 275 versus an expected number of 267, but they were down 3% after hours. It's early, but they were down. Same with IBM. IBM beat as well after hours, came in at 297 versus an expected number of 274, but I saw them down 2%. So keep an eye on United and IBM before market hours tomorrow morning for indication. Tomorrow we also have another slew of earnings. Morgan Stanley, U.S. Bancorp, and M&T Bank all out, and I believe all are out before market open tomorrow. So keep an eye on that, and we'll be back tomorrow night with another report. That's about it for now. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you on our next update.